What's up? This is Chris, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the hot springs and why I think it is one of the most important healing systems that I have implemented in my own training. So to start this video off, I'm just going to give you a brief little story about how I got into this. So I pulled my hamstring about a year and a half ago. I was really fucked up. I was laid in bed for a long time, and my friend told me about the hot springs after I tore my leg, and she said, maybe you should check this place out. You know, it's awesome. It's called Sierra Hot Springs. I think you would get a lot out of it. So I didn't really even have much of a choice. I mean, it was driving me crazy just being in my bed all day and being injured. So I decided to go check this place out. And it was very interesting what I found when I came over here. First of all, it's very beautiful, and one thing that's awesome is that it has a pool where it's more closed in, right? And you're around other people. And then it has an outside pool where you're out in the elements. It's really badass when it starts snowing and snow's like coming down and you're in the hot, warm pool. It also has a hot room where you can go and, a sweat lounge, stretch out, whatever you want to do. So the first thing that kind of pops in my mind is going in there naked. Now, the first time that I went to the hot springs, I never went in there naked. I was actually very shy and insecure, and I never thought that I would do anything like that. I'm like, oh my God, this is like too much out of my comfort zone. Like people are going to be staring at me. This is going to be weird. But I think the third time in going to the hot springs, I went in naked. That was a huge confident booster for me, because what I found was that since I could be comfortable with my own body and walk around and honestly not really give a fuck, because like when I was first going into it, I was very timid and fearful. Very timid and fearful. And the third, fourth, fifth time I started doing it, it was not a big deal. You know what I mean? I really got out of my own way. And I think in terms of like public speaking, that really helped me too. Like being around people in that vulnerable, open manner helped me get inside of my own body, so to speak, and outside of my bullshit thoughts and outside of my mind a little bit. Second thing, the water within the hot spring pools is very different from the water that you will get in your own home. So when you're taking a shower, there is fluoride. There is so many minerals that are stripped out of the water because of the process that it takes to go through the pipes and all of that, and go through I believe a chemical process. I could be wrong about that, but I looked up a lot of videos and how our water is very much stripped of its nutrients. And within this water, I found, like, even halfway through my session, I'll typically spend 1.5 to 3 hours within the hot spring water or the sweat lounge, rotating between like cold plunge, hot water, sweat lounge, walk around, and just kind of repeat. And I almost feel like high, if that makes sense. Like if you ever have like smoked weed or anything like that, better yet, like a better description would probably be some type of like runner's high, or any type of sports high that you get after a good workout session. It's very, very awesome in that it gives you a real different perspective, and it's relaxes you in such a way where it's not like going into the jacuzzi in the hot tub and just like chilling out for a minute, because even that, it's not really supporting your body in a whole lot of ways because of the chemicals and everything that's in it. I'm huge on that. I'm huge into, if you haven't noticed yet, like looking into chemicals and looking into every single thing that is within your practice that you're doing in terms of a recovery system. So getting back to the hot spring water, I found that like some of my clearest thoughts have came from me coming out or being in the water. Like I just get these really, really awesome business ideas or social media marketing ideas. And going on to number 3 about social media marketing and all of that, I'm actually getting more and more involved with the social media platform, marketing myself, promoting my martial art training to get people to train with me and all of that. And on top of going back to school this spring semester, and I found that it's almost crucial to unplug from the world, because oftentimes we are so plugged in all the time to our phone. We always have some form of instant gratification where we can post something on our social media, or we could hit up a friend or text, or pretty much have things like at the palm of our hands all day long. You're in the car, you listen to music, you're laying down, you're watching YouTube videos, you're watching this video, right? You are doing things to constantly fill your mind, and to pull away from that and to go into something that's very natural, into a element that takes you away from the superficial world that we tend to live in. It's been one of the biggest blessings within my life. And with that being said, I just got promoted to a social media marketer for my gym that I work at and train at for mixed martial arts. And I think it's more important now than ever to remember to unplug from that world, because it can be very psychologically addicting to post something and then everybody's liking your stuff, or dropping comments like, this is awesome, like blah, 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 blah. I think you get a high from that as well. But to notice the different forms of a high is very important. Like the high from doing a very high intense training session is different from the high that you will get from posting something really cool on the internet, or posting a selfie and it gets like a shit ton of likes, right? It's two completely different things. One is very instant and one is more of a process. Like for instance, just to get here, it took an hour drive to get to the Sierra Hot Springs. I'm gonna have to drive an hour back to my place, but I only really get to be here 3 hours. Now that's pretty much a whole day right there. You got to plan out, make the trip here, chill out, eat, drive back home. It's looking at the long term instead of like right now. I got to have it right now. And that was a huge change in my mental shift, my paradigm that I saw life through, is incorporating a bunch of healing systems, not a bunch, but a handful of healing systems, and going hard in my training. But I realized when I pulled my hamstring, and I had a lot of time to reflect on this, was that I was doing so many yang. Now, just to label like working out, yang meaning like breaking the body down, moving the body in such a way where you break it down to build it up. And then I'm adding more yin over the last 2 years to my workout regimen. And the balance within my mind and body, in terms of my thoughts and how I feel, it's so much more congruent now than ever. I made a video about taking medication and being diagnosed with manic depression. I think this is the pivotal point within my life where I really started noticing the big change after dropping the medication and all of that, is implementing these healing methods and also going hard in my training. It's both. Now I know that people always look at like, oh, I need to go hard in the gym. I need to go hard in the gym. I need to go all out. I need to work 7 days a week, but I need to work out 7 days a week. But sometimes it's not about that. I think it's sometimes about taking a step back and realizing that there's a whole nother piece to it. There's a whole another equation to getting better, not just physically, not just moving your body and dominating another person, but I think yielding to a process that doesn't have to deal with breaking your body down. And I say that in terms of like lifting weights. You lift weights, it's breaking down your muscles to grow stronger ones, right? Giving your body resistance. Well, sometimes it's not even about giving your body resistance. Maybe it's about going with that resistance and finding some way to chill the fuck out, relax your mind, and unplug from the world. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do train with me, you know how much I am into things like sensory deprivation, hot springs, meditation, really finding anything that's mindful and that can get you, like a mindfulness practice, and get you into the present moment. I think a lot of the times, especially with our generation, oh God, here we go, our generation, but like everything's so instant. It's like we become present by turning on the TV. We become present by maybe watching porn for like a few minutes. You know what I mean? We become present by maybe having sex with someone when we go out on the weekends and we hit up the club. And it's all of this instant fulfillment of this void within ourselves that will never be filled with all of this instant bullshit. It's looking at the long term and seeing what's going to get you to the next level rather than just keep you where you're at. So that's it, guys. That's really all I have to share with this. I highly recommend you checking out a hot springs. Go and travel to one if one's not near you. It's beautiful. I know there's ones, I'm in Nevada. There's ones in Utah. There's ones here in Nevada. There's, and this one, it's man-made. So it's not like I just found like a random creek and I'm like, oh, I'm going into the hot creek, the hot springs or whatever. It's man-made, but it's still pretty fucking awesome. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any type of healing methods, healing systems. That's just what I call it. I would love to hear about them. Drop any comments below, guys. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you.